Welcome to Keep the Line Moving Extras, where we take things further. Here we dive deeper into leadership, sports, and business. Each week we highlight our weekly guest, providing further insights from their leadership journey. Beyond the usual headlines, we uncover what truly drives success. From strategic thinking to personal growth, to inspiring teams and leading with purpose. Here we go. KTLM Extras. What a week it has been, right? Sunday we had the Super Bowl, a lot of weather around the United States, so much to talk about. But let's stick to the world of leadership and sports as promised with this particular podcast, right? In episode 121, speaking of the Super Bowl, Erik Coleman, my former colleague at the New York Jets, my friend, and a 9-year NFL pro, defensive back, great pro, great person. He played for the Jets, the Falcons, and the Detroit Lions. He analyzed with me on Keep the Line Moving, the Super Bowl that was. We talked about the Eagles, the Chiefs, and his former teams and news going on with the Lions and the Jets. We talked about Aaron Rodgers. Feel free to listen to that episode. At the end of it, I asked him, Erik, what advice would you give an incoming NFL player right now into the league, like an upcoming rookie? The draft is in April, and he said, eliminate distractions, entourages, endorsements. He said he wants people to make money, obviously, but eliminate distractions and understand why you are there. You're there to play football and play as long as you can, if that's the wish and dreams of these rookies. And then his quote here that I love is lock in. You're there to play the game. Those other things are important, but make sure when you're there to play the game that you are locked in. And to that point, here's where we're going with this week's KTLM Extras. Speaking of locking in, the Texas A&M Aggies men's basketball team, they're ranked 8th in the country. They beat the University of Missouri on Saturday night, 67-64. That's not the news. The news, in my opinion, and for this audience, you on this podcast, is the following. The post-game press conference. Texas A&M's Buzz Williams was about to wrap up, but then he stopped himself and said the following. Hold on a second. We're going to play it for you right now.
Here's 4 things for you. Ready? How old are you?
19.
All right. I'm assuming you're in the Columbia, Missouri School of Journalism. All right. So here's four things that I write all people that I wish somebody would have told me. Number 1, you're going to type it? Or are you just recording it?
I'll type it.
Okay. Read more than you think you should. 2, write down everything, comma, about everything, comma, all the time, period. 3, over the next 10 years, build as many relationships as you can, comma, and learn to connect the dots between those relationships. 4, never turn down an opportunity to learn, comma, or to work. Good luck.
Buzz Williams nailed it. For those of you that watch Keep the Line Moving all the time, and now the KTLM Extras, which we just started back in January, this fits perfectly to what we talk about all the time. Here's what Buzz said, and his advice was to the University of Missouri journalism students in the crowd at that press conference. But also, this advice is applicable to leadership and life. But let's just nail it down one more time. Here's what he said. 1, read more than you think you should. 2, write down everything, about everything, all the time. 3, over the next 10 years, build as many relationships as you can and learn to connect the dots between those relationships. 4, never turn down an opportunity to learn or to work. How valuable is that? It was sent to me by last week's KTLM Extras guest, Ethan Greenberg, the team reporter and producer for the New York Jets. He sent it to me. Needless to say, I loved it, right? For many, many reasons. So I brought the video to my NYU class and I said, okay, everybody, I've been talking about, I'm a big proponent of taking notes. That's why I'm so excited this week, right? I was a reporter for 12 years myself, executive producer, so I love to take notes. I find it useful. I find pen to paper or in your phone or on the laptop, whatever it is, extremely valuable. And anything you do, going to a meeting, whatever it is, going off site on something, always take notes. I've been teased about it. I write everything down. I think it's very important. Hence why we're doing this episode. So I took it to the NYU class and I said, okay, everybody get your note, however you take them, whether it's, like I said, writing, laptop, phone, whatever. We're going to watch this video, watch it closely. Then we're going to have a quiz. And that's the only instructions I gave them. We played the video of Buzz Williams in the post-game press conference, came back, and one of the questions was, number one, recite the 4 principles that Buzz Williams said. I was amazed at the students that raised their hand and volunteered. They almost had them word for word. Some had them word for word, maybe missed an and or a the. It was amazing. They listened, they wrote, they said it. And then we followed up with questions pertaining to their personal reflection on the 4 principles. In other words, number 1, read more than you think you should. I asked the students, what have you read lately that has made an impact on you? Some of them said, quotes. This quote impacted me this way. I put it up when I see it every day when I leave my dorm room or apartment. Others said, I read a book, Dale Carnegie. They're talking about authors and books they've read. Amazing. Number 2, I said, okay, relative to write down everything about everything all the time. I said, what note have you taken recently, whether in class or not, that has helped you in the future? Their stories were right on point. I took notes. I was able to be successful on this test or quiz or in class. Then I asked them about their relationships. Buzz Williams says, over the next 10 years, build as many relationships as you can. I asked them this. Since the semester started, have you made an effort to meet new people here at campus? Hands go up, stories are told. You wouldn't have believed it. One student said he has had more intimate conversations with his new friend group than he had with his friends that he grew up with for the last 10 years. That's what he shared with us. And then we talked about learning and getting out of one's comfort zone. So needless to say, what a week it was, simply based on a press conference from Buzz Williams and a message to the University of Missouri journalism students. He's the Texas A&M coach, and he still was gracious enough to give them that advice. What a moment. I had to share it with you. Now I'm an Aggies fan. That's amazing. Way to go, Buzz. Thank you, everybody, for being with us this week on KTLM Extras. We'll see you Tuesday for another great conversation on Keep the Line Moving. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Keep the Line Moving. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Most importantly, share this podcast with your friends, family, and coworkers. It means the world to us. If you have a guest recommendation, visit our website at garganoleadership.com, where you'll also find all our archived episodes. For our marketing coordinator and the producer of this podcast, Savin Narwhal, I'm Chris Gargano. Have a fantastic week, everybody.